Hey, welcome back to Cozy Tree Studios. I have a review for you today. It's an honest review because it's half broken. I might even try to keep using it. The Playwell guitar looper pedal from Amazon. This goes by several badge names. I liked it for a while. So here's my script outline next to where my daughter likes to draw pictures. I'm going to give you pros and cons. I'm going to explain the use case for what I was doing and why it broke and what's next. Because I've learned that I kind of think I need a guitar looper pedal in my life. What am I going to replace it with? So here we are. Advantage number 1, the price. It was about $40. Advantage number 2, USB power and audio outputs. It has a headphone output and 2 sources of power input. There's, of course, the regular 9-volt power, and the other power adapter is USB. So technically, you could run this thing off of a little power pack or your phone charger. Advantage number 3, drum accompaniment. It has a drum machine built in, which you can change the drum level volume. There is a con that goes with this. Unfortunately, the tempo, while you can select the beats per minute, which is nice on this little screen, you have to tap tempo with this little button, which is not ideal, especially if you're trying to operate hands-free because you've got a guitar in your hands. Advantage number 4, app customization. It's worth mentioning the app. The Bluetooth allows the app to customize drum sequences. So on the back, you have a bunch of options for your drum sequences, but you can take one of those memory slots and customize it to your own liking. I didn't do it much. I tried it once, and it's not something that I would use because I run Logic Pro and I have other options to produce with. But for the price, the app control is nice. Advantage number 5, rhythmic freedom. You can be out of tempo with the drum sequencer if you just choose to have it muted. I like the way this forces me to think about producing in a performative way, because so much music production nowadays is not performative, and it keeps me honest. This thing shows me where my physical body fails to play things in time all the time. You can't quantize, you can't flex, you can't edit your performance. There's only one undo function. That's if you hold this looper button after you've laid a track. Advantage number 7, no amp, no problem. You can immediately get into guitar looping with your acoustic guitar without an amplifier because there's a headphone output. That's another positive. Now let's get into the negatives. Disadvantage number 1, tempo control. I did say the tap tempo is not one of these foot switches. It is a tiny button, so that's a negative. Disadvantage number 2, glitching and freezing. The deal breaker for me was it crashes. It freezes while in use, which is really unfortunate. The last 2 song arrangements, I couldn't complete them because at some point this thing just stopped working. It froze and it wouldn't stop. There was no going back. That's unfortunate. Disadvantage number 3, unwanted electrical noise. I did notice the LEDs on this thing are noisy. Which is problematic. If you're running this into a guitar amp, you really want it to be quiet when it's not in use. I did not like that at all. I guess what that tells you is this is only digital bypass. There is no analog, no true bypass analog route from in to out. That's unfortunate. Comment below. Why do you think the LEDs are noisy? Am I completely wrong about true bypass being a solution to this? It does have memory slots. That's a plus and a minus. There's 4 memory slots. You can select which project you want to add overdubs to. Disadvantage number 5,
project mixing, and track leveling.
I was new to guitar looping when I bought this. And the lesson I learned was your tracks have to be mixed. You need to input them at the level you want them to sit in your final mix. So there's a lot of forethought required. So in a way, you're forced to think harder, plan better, and create an arrangement before you start. You can control the drum loudness, and you can control the loop loudness.
So I think there may be a workaround for some types of mixing problems in your looper performance. If you can figure out how to record your live performance or your loop performance onto one of these, or you can offload it to your computer if your looper has that ability to function as a USB drive. You can bring it into a DAW or some video softwares, and you can use a compressor on the master like a lot of, mastering engineers do, and maybe then you can help a poor mix. But the reason why this pedal is called the Play Well is if you're not playing well, it'll reveal that to you, and you just have to do it again. Disadvantage number 6, single channel input and outputs.
This guitar looper pedal, it's in mono. If you have any stereo delay pedals, you can't record them to this in stereo, if you know what I mean. It is what it is. I wish I could. I think my next looper pedal will be in stereo.
Disadvantage number 7, the addictive, limited nature of looping.
The last con to looper pedals in general is they are addictive. They in some ways are inspiring, but it's hard to get what you want. It's like a puzzle that is so honest with you. Unfortunately, a guitar looper pedal is a mirror into your performance. So they're a great practice tool, but don't expect this to make you sound like Ed Sheeran in concert.
And now for tips and tricks from my looping experience.
Next, let's get into my use case. So for my purposes, I created a mini pedal board to live outside of my guitar pedal board ecosystem. Because it's not true bypass, I didn't like to have my pedal board output to run through this all the time.
Tip number 1, how to expand your input options to more than just electric guitars. Connect more than one thing at once using a mixer.
A simple analog mixer will really open up a lot of potential for exploration with a basic guitar pedal. Because, you can plug in a mic now. You can add vocals to your guitar looping station.
Alternative input source A, electric keyboards and synthesizers.
I have an old Casio piano. It's from 1998 at least. And man, I tried all sorts of things. You can run a piezo clip-on pickup into here. If you're an acoustic guitar enthusiast and don't have the electronics in your acoustic to plug it into anything, you can immediately get into looping with like a $9 clip-on contact pickup. So I've got my bass, my electric guitar pedals, guitar amp cabinet set up through my Beta 58A into my mixer, into this pedal. That's something you can't do without a mixer. But I have a digital piano going into that mixer. I have a mini synth. Oh, and another benefit to using a mixer with your guitar looper is you can EQ, and in some cases you can compress. You can apply other effects before it goes into your looper pedal.
Alternative input source C, recording vocals into the looper.
I've used the line out with the proper cable that's 3.5 millimeters on one end and 1/4 inch on the other to go straight into the looper pedal. You will have to use headphones or else you'll get feedback through your amplifier. That was fun.
Tip number 2, a breakthrough in performance output capture.
And then that brings me to the Zoom recorder. One benefit to the headphone output is you've got 2 audio outputs. One was going to my amplifier and the other one was going to this Zoom recorder, which has a line-in jack for lavalier mics. I liked having this, okay, because when you arrange a musical phrase with perhaps chords and with drums and with bass, maybe keys, and then you want to solo over that repeating phrase, but you want to record that solo, maybe your solo lasts 4 phrases long, and you want to record your solo that you play over the looper, and something like this will do just that. You can get a line-in recording in WAV format or MP3 format. This is the way to record your longer performance that happens over top of a repeated phrase. So that's a breakthrough. That's really a breakthrough in capturing looper performances. Comment below if you want to know how to get direct audio into an iPhone. I have a method for that is relatively low cost, kind of an alternative to the iRig, which I'm open to being sponsored by iRig. Don't get me wrong, but it's in my personality to try to use what I have to achieve the desired goal.
In conclusion,
what's next? What did I learn about this guitar looping experience? Well, I want another guitar looper. That's for sure. I learned that I don't think the rhythm track built into the pedal is ultimately necessary. It is helpful, so I'm 50-50 on having that feature. But I really feel like I need true bypass because I think that was an issue, was noisy. LED lights.
Comment below. Why do you think that LEDs are noisy? Am I completely wrong about true bypass being a solution to this? Replacement equipment options? Should I buy another pedal?
Bigger loop stations do exist, but I think I still want a small one. There's a flagship version, the RC505, that's used for a lot of beatboxers. It is popular with synthesizer players. I don't think I'm ready for that. I don't want to drop $600 on my next looper pedal. I love Boss products. I'd love to be sponsored by them. Boss also makes a RC1. It's kind of a dinosaur. It came out in 2001. It has that circle of LEDs that shows you the status of your arrangement playback when it's getting back close to the end. And this screen also has that. It's not plugged in right now, so you can't see it. I think that my next looper pedal must have that. Like I said, you have to learn to get around creating arrangements. You have to learn to set your levels.
Correction. As you track each layer, it will record into the arrangement at an unchangeable loudness.
There are no faders on a simple looper pedal as to like control the loudness of each layer. But I don't think I want that. It's just a practice tool.
You can't outmix a bad performance. That's true.
But stereo. I do want stereo sound in a looper pedal because if you're using a stereo delay pedal or some digital effect that can only be properly understood in 2 channels, you're not going to get that in mono. And personally, I really like a good stereo delay. Adds depth and space to the feel. Thanks for staying and listening. That's my honest review of the Playwell guitar looper. Get it if you want it. I'm not sponsored. You can buy it on Amazon. Really do think the reason for this thing failing was that I left it plugged in 24/7. If you buy something like this, a digital pedal, especially the really compact ones, I have a feeling that on the cheaper end, the digital components wear out. And that's my theory. So don't leave it plugged in. That's my PSA. All right, remember to dream, create, and share. This is Cozy Tree Studios. Don't forget to like and subscribe, comment with your ideas and questions, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day, guys. Bye.